Morning, everybody, and welcome to our virtual meeting this morning on Seedcare. So this morning in our 30-minute session, you will have John Ronxley, our technical manager, presenting to you on our seed treatment portfolio, looking in particular at Berry Gold and Vibrance Duo and when to upgrade from Berry Gold to Vibrance Duo, and then looking at Vibrance Duo and seed treatment options in barley as well. Just to let you all know that this webinar will be recorded, so please bear this in mind if you want to unmute to ask a question. I would recommend that if you use the Q&A function at the bottom of the screen and ask a question directly to me, Kate Cobbold, I will then ask John those questions at the end. And also, just to make you aware, that at the end of the webinar, we will send you a quick email with a survey and also some basis and Neuroso points information. We'd really appreciate your feedback if you have the time to fill out that survey. So without further ado, I'll pass on to John. So there you are, John.
Good morning, all. Thank you very much for attending today. So fungicide seed treatments, they should form a key part of a sustainable farming approach. It's absolutely vital to control for seed and soil-borne diseases. They can reduce establishment, they can reduce yield, and they can also reduce grain quality. So a seed dressing, it's vital to use to control for these diseases. But above and beyond that as well, a product such as Vibrance Duo, it really can give you fantastic establishment, especially if you go into those trickier conditions. So if you're delaying drilling, you've got a wetter, a colder seed bed, we really can see the benefits in establishment with Vibrance Duo, and also across cultivation systems. If you're a grower and you're thinking about using a more sustainable cultivation system, such as a min-till or a direct drill over ploughing, then it's probably harder to get good establishment and rooting. And we've got quite a bit of trials data now that really does show the benefit of Vibrance Duo in those cultivation systems to really improve that establishment and rooting. So if you can get better establishment, you can get better rooting, you're increasing the crop health of your crop. And we know the past few seasons, the weather's been certainly a challenge. The past 2 autumns have been very, very wet. We've had periods of droughty weather as well during the spring and summer times. So if you can get that better establishment and rooting, you're building the resilience of your crop to be able to cope with those weather conditions, and it really does help to protect yield. So yeah. It's very important to carry on using fungicide seed dressings. And this is highlighted in this slide here as well. So this is a picture of bunt in winter wheat, loose smut in barley, and leaf stripe in barley. And these are diseases that can only be controlled with the use of a seed treatment. You won't know if you have an issue with these diseases until around ear emergence. So it's absolutely vital to carry on using seed dressings to make sure that diseases like this are well controlled. And this is a table here. It's a star chart table, and it highlights the benefits of various products. So we've got Berry Gold and Vibrance Duo, which are our seed dressings, and then it's comparing it to Redigo Pro here. And this is in winter wheat. And it ranges from 1 star up to 3 stars, so 3 stars being the best. And you can see here, if you compare Berry Gold, which is the standard fungicide treatment, versus Redigo Pro, which again is another standard fungicide seed treatment. If you're looking at your key diseases, in winter wheat, the most common diseases to control for are microdochium and fusarium. And we know with both of those diseases, they can reduce plant stand and ultimately reduce yield. And we know from all of our trials work that Berry Gold is very, very effective at controlling for microdochium and fusarium. And it's much stronger at controlling for it than Redigo Pro. So from a disease point of view, Barley Gold is a really good option over Redigo Pro, but also it's triazole free. And we know that Redigo Pro with prothioconazole plus tebuconazole, it can slow emergence as well. So in terms of speed of emergence, if you're say you're delaying drilling those wetter, colder seed beds, we know we get faster establishment with Barley Gold than you would with Redigo Pro. So if you're looking to use a standard dressing, Barley Gold is a very good option. But if you want to upgrade to Vibrance Duo, it certainly is the class-leading seed treatment in terms of controlling your seed and soil-borne diseases. And if you're looking at crop establishment and rooting, you're getting really good benefits here. So in delayed drill situation, you're getting much better establishment, and certainly rooting, we're getting really improved rooting with Vibrance Duo. It's also very good in a second wheat, and it does bring a good yield benefit as well. So it more than pays for the cost of the seed treatment as well. So it's a really good option to use Vibrance Duo. And we saw this again this season. So if you think back the past 2 seasons, it's been a very wet autumn time. So this was autumn 2020. So this season still, but this is a picture from Newark, local to me. But you can see there's obviously a lot of rain, challenging conditions for crop establishment and growth. And these are some images here from our trials. And you've got Vibrance Duo on the left here versus the untreated in winter wheat. And you can see that Vibrance Duo is helping with establishment in these challenging conditions. And if you compare it to other seed dressings, again, this is at Newark. It's winter wheat drilled the middle of October. We've got loads and loads of data versus Redigo Pro, where we can prove much faster establishment with Vibrance Duo, and also much better rooting as well. So the rooting assessments were done earlier this year, and you can see we're getting a really good rooting benefit, but also increases in foliage weight above ground as well. And then within the same trial, we also had Kinto Plus. So Kinto Plus is new to the market, but again, Vibrance Duo, we could quite easily show much faster establishment with Vibrance Duo. This is in Skyscraper, but within the same trial, we also had Inciter. And with both of those winter wheats, much better establishment with Vibrance Duo over Kinto Plus. And when we did the rooting assessments, clear rooting benefits as well. And we also saw really good benefits in terms of increase in tillering. So Vibrance Duo really is the market leading seed treatment from an establishment and rooting point of view. And it's not just the Newark site. We had a winter wheat trial over in Oxfordshire as well. Again, in Cider drilled the middle of October, and it's a clear pattern to see that again, much better rooting with Vibrance Duo, and also a much bigger foliage weight above ground versus Kinto Plus. So in terms of positioning for Vibrance Duo, when is it best to upgrade to Vibrance Duo? Well, in 2018 season, the beast from the east came along, and then there was a really hot, droughty spell during the summertime, and we had a lot of trials, and we could really position the product and see where there was clear benefits. So we saw clear benefits in a delayed drill situation. So obviously a wetter, colder seed bed. The beast from the east came along, very challenging. In those conditions, we're getting faster, improved emergence with Vibrance Duo over Redigo Pro, and you've got a really nice yield advantage from that. Also in the lighter lands that season, when it became hot and droughty during the spring and summertime, the rooting benefit was very evident. And again, we saw some really good yield benefits. And in a second wheat as well, that season, we also saw good benefits. So you get better establishment and rooting. We feel that Vibrance Duo is able to probably tolerate take all a little bit better than Redigo Pro, but we don't claim any fungicidal activity for take all. If a grower is worried about take all, then they should use Latitude. But we've also done trials where we've got Vibrance Duo plus Latitude versus Redigo Pro plus Latitude, and Vibrance Duo plus Latitude is a very, very safe combination there. So it's really good to use in a second wheat position as well. And you can see that was across a large data set. So 34 trials for delayed drill, 17 for lighter land, and 13 for second wheats. But for people thinking about drilling earlier, we still see good benefits for Vibrance Duo. So this is highlighted here. This is in Berwick, drilled the middle of September back in 2018. But you can see versus Redigo Pro, even though it's drilled the middle of September, you're still getting massive rooting benefits and much better foliage above ground as well. And on many of our sites, even if we're drilling early, because of these rooting benefits, we still see benefits in terms of yield as well. So we have our key positions in terms of delayed drill, lighter lands and second wheats, but even in early drilled situations, Vibrance Duo, it is still a benefit. And now we've got it registered into winter and spring barley as well, which is great. So this is our second season of getting it registered into barley, and we see exactly the same benefits in establishment and rooting in barley as we've seen in winter wheat. So this is a nice example from Berwick. So this was 2 seasons ago now. It's in hybrid barley in Kingsbarn. It was drilled the middle of September. And you can see here, we're getting increases in the number of plants established from going from untreated to Raxil Star to the use of Vibrance Duo. And when we did rooting digs on those, you can see if you compare the untreated plants to Raxil Star, they look pretty similar. But you take the exact untreated plants and you put them next to the Vibrance Duo plants, you can immediately see now how much bigger that rooting system is, and you can see how much bigger that foliage weight is above ground as well. And that came through with a really nice yield benefit as well. So a 0.77 tonne per hectare increase in yield with Vibrance Duo over the Raxil Star. And in terms of our best use advice for barley, so we don't have a label claim for loose smut on the Vibrance Duo label. So last season we advised using Vibrance Duo with a loose smut active partner, but we've been doing a lot of trials work on loose smut, and although we don't have a label claim, we do know that Vibrance Duo has got good activity against it. So we've done 28 trials the past 7 years, and most of those trials have been done the past couple of seasons. And we can demonstrate 94% control of loose smut with Vibrance Duo. And within our trials, this is actually comparable to Raxil Star, which is, I guess, the gold standard in terms of loose smut control. So now we are changing our advice for this season. So in a higher risk loose smut situation, we still see that Vibrance Duo plus a loose smut active partner, such as Rancona iMix, that really does give you the market leading level of loose smut disease control. So you're up to nearly 100% control within our trials using that combination. So we would advise that if you're using farm safe seed and you haven't tested it, we would advise Vibrance Duo with a loose smut partner because you obviously don't know the level of disease within that seed. And if you've tested it and it does have have a level of loose smut within it, then again, we would obviously recommend you using the Vibrance with a partner product. And also, if you know you're planning to farm save your seed, you want to be drilling the cleanest seed possible to try and avoid any future issues with disease. So again, in that situation, we would advise Vibrance Duo with a loose smut partner. But in most cases, and I think this will be the case for many growers, in lower risk situations, then we feel that the Vibrance Duo as a solo is a very good option. So if you're buying certified seed, then Vibrance Duo alone is a good option. And if you're farm saving your seed and you've had it tested and you know it's clean, or it's only got very low levels of loose smut, then again, the use of Vibrance Duo as a solo product is a good option there. And then in terms of our other advice from last season, we still have the same label stipulation that says you cannot use seed you cannot use Vibrance Duo on seed for multiplication brackets certified seed. And that basically means you can't use Vibrance Duo if you're growing a seed crop for certified seed production. You can't use Vibrance Duo. But if you're growing a crop just to farm save it, then it's fine to use Vibrance Duo. It's only if you're growing a seed crop for certified seed, but there's this restriction. But it's just something to be aware of. And this only applies to barley. It doesn't apply to wheat or any other crops. But we know with Vibrance Duo, you get that better establishment, you get that better rooting, you're building the crop resilience against weather. And this is a study we did over the winter time, and you can see it's a tray study, so it's not in a field, but it's under controlled conditions, and we got some really interesting results. So we took 3 different soil types. So you can see them here, 1, 2, 3. So there's a loam soil, a sandy loam soil, and a heavy clay soil. And then we gave it 2 different watering conditions. So we either had, we watered it to be an average amount of rain or a high amount of rain. And the average amount of rain was the rainfall based for October in Cambridge. And then the high rain was double the average there. And then we had 2 seed dressings. We had Vibrance Duo plus Vancona iMix, and that was compared to Raxil Star. So we had a soil type versus rain versus seed treatment trial. And what was interesting to see, this is a graph here where we've got the percentage increase in rooting with Vibrance Duo plus Vancona iMix over Raxil Star. So you can see in all of these situations, you're getting a benefit for rooting with Vibrance Duo over Raxil Star. But what's interesting to see, if you're in an average rainfall month for October, we're getting somewhere between a 10 and a 20% increase in rooting with Vibrance Duo over Raxil Star, which is great. It's a good amount of rooting benefit. But if you go to a position where it's a lot of rain over the autumn period, which we've seen the past couple of seasons, if you're in this higher rain category on the loam and the sandy loam soils, suddenly the rooting benefit from Vibrance Duo over Raxil Star, it jumps from a 10 to 20% benefit to more like an 80 to 120% benefit. So 120% benefit is more than double the amounts of roots with Vibrance Duo compared to Raxil Star. So obviously in these wetter conditions, it's a wetter seed bed, it's far more challenging. The Raxil Star is starting to struggle then, starting to struggle to allow the crop to get its rooting done, whereas the Vibrance Duo it really does have a great rooting benefit. And in those tougher, more challenging situations, that's when you can really pull out those benefits there. And obviously, when you buy your seed, you don't know whether it's going to be a dry autumn, a wet autumn, an average autumn. So we know whatever the conditions, you're likely to get a rooting benefit. But in these wetter conditions, which is quite common the last couple of autumn seasons, you're getting a huge rooting benefit there. And then if you move to the heavy soil as well, if you think about the loam soil and the sandy loam soil, they're fairly kind soils in terms of getting establishment. You move to a really heavy clay soil, much harder to get good establishment. And under the average rainfall conditions, you can see move into a heavy soil type. Again, the Raxil stars starting to struggle there, whereas the Vibrance Duo still allows for really good rooting. And we're seeing a huge benefit there in terms of rooting over Raxil star. So again, a tougher challenging conditions because of the soil type, and we're getting a huge rooting benefit with Vibrance Duo. You will notice the final bar here, there isn't one. If you're on a heavy clay soil, it's very, very waterlogged because there is so much rain. Even in those conditions, the Vibrance was then starting to struggle. It isn't magic, obviously. There is a limit to its benefits, but generally under most conditions here, most conditions you're going to encounter during the autumn, you're getting fantastic rooting benefits from the use of Vibrance Duo compared to a dressing such as Raxil star. And these are some pictures from those studies. So we've got the loam soil with high rainfall. This is the Raxil star versus the Vibrance Duo plus Francona iMix. And you can immediately see much better rooting with Vibrance Duo and much bigger foliage weight above ground as well. And then if you move from the loam soil into the heavy clay soil, this is just under average rainfall, but you can immediately see how much more challenging it was to get establishment in these conditions. And you're getting much bigger rooting benefit with Vibrance Duo over the Raxil star and a much bigger foliage weight as well. So I think this is a really excellent study to highlight the benefits of Vibrance Duo. It's a great insurance policy. If the weather turns against you, you really do get those benefits in terms of rooting over dressings such as Raxil star. And these are our average rooting benefits over the past 2 seasons. So this is a % increase in rooting over Raxil star with Vibrance Duo. So this is from 2 seasons ago. It was a very, very wet autumn in 2019. Everybody was struggling to drill their autumn crops, and we had over a 50% benefit in rooting with Vibrance Duo over Raxil star across our trials. There was 10 winter barley trials that season. And then this past season, we've looked at the % increase over Raxil star with Vibrance Duo, and also the % increase over Raxil star with Kinto Plus, which was within the same trials. And again, it was a wet autumn. It wasn't quite as wet as the previous season, but we're getting a really nice rooting benefit with Vibrance Duo over Raxil star, a 30% increase in rooting. And the Kinto Plus, you can see really it's only got a small benefit in rooting over Raxil star. So just like in winter wheat, in winter barley, we're certainly seeing that Vibrance Duo is giving much better rooting than Kinto Plus there. So much better rooting. And then also, just to finish off, I mentioned it briefly before, but if you wanted to use a more sustainable approach in terms of your cultivation systems, you may want to move from ploughing to, say, a more lighter cultivation system, or even a direct drill system. And in both of these systems, we've seen really good benefits to the use of Vibrance Duo. So we've got a trial here where we've got Raxil Star versus Vibrance Duo plus Vancona iMix across these cultivation systems. And we're getting benefits in the number of plants established. But when we've done the rooting digs, you also see very, very clear benefits. So this is a Vibrance Duo versus the Raxil Star. You get good, clear benefits in terms of your rooting and also your foliage above ground as well. So this is in hybrid barley, and anything you can do to get that better establishment and rooting in these cultivation systems is likely to be a good benefit. And also in these systems, there's crop trash left on the soil surface. This is a source of disease inoculum. So there's potential to get increased microdochium and fusarium disease, and we know that Vibrance Duo is very strong at controlling for those diseases as well. So this example is in hybrid barley. We've also got a lot of work in winter wheat as well that shows very, very similar benefits. Whether you're ploughing, your min tilling, or your direct drilling, you're getting that establishment and rooting benefit with Vibrance Duo there. So this is a summary slide. It's definitely critical to control for seed and soil-borne diseases. They will reduce establishment, they will reduce yield, they will reduce your grain quality. You need to control for them using a good quality seed dressing. But it's also important to get as strong as possible establishment and rooting. And we know that Vibrance Duo within our trials is certainly performing very, very strongly. Yeah, so it's a very good seed dressing. So I will leave it there and take any questions.
Super, thanks, John. Really helpful. I have had a couple of questions come in. The first one is, could you just explain why we've got this restriction of Vibrance Duo for certified barley seed?
Yeah, so it's quite a frustrating restriction. So it's a fairly recent stipulation from CRD. Previously, they used to advise people not to use a dressing on. Well, I will go back a step. For leaf strike, we have a moderate control claim for our label. So we get about 95% control of leaf strike. To get a full control claim, you need 98% control. But because we have a moderate control claim, that's why we have this label stipulation. If we had full control claim, we wouldn't have this seed crop stipulation. But because we have moderate control, we aren't allowed to use it on a seed crop. But this is a fairly new thing that are doing. So previously, for seed dressings that had a moderate control claim, they used to advise not to use it for a certified, not to use it on a seed crop grown for certified seed. But now they've got stricter, and they say you cannot use it, which is frustrating from our point of view because it is a good option, but it's just what the label says.
Okay, thank you. I've got one last question really quickly, although I suspect we could spend another hour on this question. But if we could, yeah, in a nutshell, just explain your thoughts on this. Some people are suggesting not to use a seed treatment in a regenerative agriculture approach. What are your thoughts on this, John?
So from our point of view, if I go back to this summary slide, it's absolutely vital to control for seed and soil-borne diseases. They will impact yield, they will impact establishment. If we don't control for them, they will increase over time, and they will become a real issue. So I think it's vital to carry on using seed dressings. From our point of view, from a soil health point of view, we are doing work looking at it, but we feel that seed dressings, they're applied at a low rate and they're really targeted to the seed as well. So we feel that they are one of the safer things that can actually be used, and we actually feel they fit well into farming systems. So one of the good ways of improving soil health is to move to more of a min-till or a direct drill situation. And within that situation, you need better establishment and rooting, and Vibrance Duo can certainly help to improve establishment and rooting.
Super, thank you. And with that, I'll draw this webinar to a close. Just a reminder that we will be emailing you with a small survey and information on basis and Neroso points. But thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, and hope you found that useful. Enjoy the rest of your days. Thank you.